Serpents of the depths or creatures of dread. From unidentified predators to the known dangers of the oceans. Hang on to see the wildest creatures attacking fishermen that shocked everyone. It was a beautiful, windy day when a bunch of friends decided to go fishing, hoping to catch something big. Little did they know, they were about to be shocked. Out of nowhere, this weird creature popped up from the waves and glided right past them. They only saw its head above the water, but it was so huge that they just stood there, totally stunned. Trying to guess what it could be, they got several opinions. A massive fish, a sea monster, or one of them called it a deep-sea mystery. The mystery stayed with them because no one ever figured out what it was. That day, they didn't catch any fish, but they sure came back with a story that they'd never forget. The unexpected catch. A group of fishermen were casting their nets into the clear blue water, just going about their usual day. Suddenly, they felt a huge tug on the net. Of course, they thought, all right, we've caught something big. So they began pulling it in, expecting a massive fish. But when they hauled the net out of the water, they got the shock of a lifetime. It wasn't a fish. It was a huge mermaid. She was tangled up in the net, struggling to break free. The fishermen were stunned. They'd heard the old tales, but never thought they'd actually see one in real time. She was strong too, and as they tried to hold on, the net slipped from their hands and she broke free, diving back into the deep. Loch Ness monster spotted. A young man was casually filming with his camera in the coastal waters of Sydney, Australia, when his eyes caught a strange sight in the distance. Quickly, he zoomed in, and there it was, a mysterious creature breaking the water's surface, sending a small sprout of misty spray into the air as well. He watched as the creature lingered, moving closer ever so slowly. What could it be? He initially thought of the famous Loch Ness monster, wondering if he'd stumbled upon something just as legendary. But then again, it could be something else entirely. Mysterious encounter in the submarine. In this video, a submarine was deep in the Greenland Sea when the crew suddenly heard a strange, almost human-like sound echoing through the water. Everyone got on high alert, and then, out of nowhere, a huge webbed hand pressed up against one of the submarine windows. The crew was stunned, but they had caught just a quick glimpse of this mysterious creature before it swam off into the darkness. It looked oddly human, but could it be real? Or was this all some elaborate hoax? People have been debating this footage for a while, and the mystery is still up in the air. Strange lizard being.
Look at that.
Here's an intriguing moment. A boat captain off the coast of southeastern North Carolina recently spotted something unusual swimming near the surface. At first, he thought it could be a large fish or even a whale, but as it got closer, he realized this was no ordinary sea creature. The dark, long figure glided through the water, reminding him of a huge lizard. Its shape and movements brought to mind the legendary Loch Ness monster. Locals believe it's the Loch Ness because of its reptile nature. What do you think? Giant lizard. Not long ago, people spotted a giant sea creature in the Amazon River. As it emerged from the water, its massive head was hard to miss, and its long neck gave it a really unusual look. Those who saw it said its face resembled that of a lizard, making them wonder if it could be a new species. The creature was just standing still in one spot, and its body was hidden underwater. What could this mysterious animal be? It's a sight that got everyone talking and guessing. Loch Ness-like creature in BC. In the misty waters of British Columbia, there was a group of fishermen who were busy pulling in their catch when a strange ripple in the water caught their eye. Out of nowhere, this massive, terrifying sea creature emerged from the depths, heading straight for them. The crew, of course, started yelling, their hearts racing. One quick-thinking fisherman grabbed a fish and tossed it toward the creature. To everyone's relief, it devoured the fish in one swift gulp. Still shaken, the crew kept filming though, and as they captured it, they realized this looked eerily like the legendary Loch Ness monster. But what was it doing in waters far from its usual home? A giant swordfish. Check this out. Out on the ocean, a group of fishermen pulled in an absolutely massive swordfish. This fish was known for its long, flat sword extending from its snout, which it uses to slash at prey, earning it the nickname Broadbill. Unlike other fish with pointy snouts, the swordfish's bill is flat and easy to spot, thanks to its tall dorsal fin and lack of pelvic fins. As they reeled it in, the fishermen couldn't help but admire its deep purplish blue top fading to a silvery underside. Swordfish can grow up to 15 feet and weigh nearly 1,000 pounds, so this catch was truly an impressive one. Sea serpent. In the dark waters of Bora Bora, there was a deep-sea camera that was recording, and suddenly, something happened that no one was expecting. Two eerie eyes appeared, drifting closer and glowing brightly, cutting through the darkness. The camera operator quickly turned on the lights, revealing a massive, ancient-looking creature that seemed like a dragon or dinosaur. Startled by the sudden brightness, the creature jerked back and vanished into the shadows. As the lights got brighter, strange, deep sounds echoed from the depths next, making this mystery of what's lurking down there even more intriguing as well as frightening. Giant shark looks at submarine.
My goodness.
Where's my phone?
A submarine was exploring the deep waters of the ocean. The scientists on board were super excited to see the underwater world up close. Suddenly, they spotted something huge moving nearby, a giant shark swimming close to them. This massive shark started circling the submarine, curious about this strange metal object in its home. The scientists were thrilled, watching in awe as this magnificent creature checked them out. For a few moments, it was just them and this incredible shark, sharing a brief but unforgettable encounter. Isn't that just amazing? As well as frightening too, I imagine.
That is amazing.
The Mega Beast. Back in 2013, there was this fishing boat out on the waters off South Africa, just as the sun was setting. The crew was getting ready, hoping for a big catch, with only the boat lights lighting up the dark sea. Suddenly, something huge slammed into the boat, rocking it so hard it almost tipped over, and then, nothing. The boat was empty, with just a single camera left behind, capturing everything. Authorities rushed in to investigate, but they found absolutely nothing. Some people thought it might have been a great white shark, but even a shark that big wouldn't topple an entire boat, right? Maybe a whale? But even those encounters don't end this way. So, what then? Deep sea duel. So deep down in the ocean, there was this epic showdown between a shark and a massive isopod, which is like one of the biggest crustaceans out there. This giant isopod wrapped itself around the shark and wouldn't let go. They were twisting and turning, totally locked in a crazy struggle. The isopod was using all its size and strength to its advantage. These giant isopods were made to handle the extreme pressure of the deep sea, and this one was really showing off its power. As the battle went on, the isopod's grip got tighter and tighter until it finally overpowered and destroyed the shark. A shark's mysterious fate. In March 2019, a local fisherman hooked a massive 550-pound mako shark. A huge catch, right? But when he finally reeled it in, he was shocked to find that it was only a severed head. The rest of this giant shark had been completely torn away, devoured by something even bigger. Photos of the head went viral, and people were stunned. What kind of predator could take down a mako shark in one bite? Speculation ran wild, with some even suggesting a real-life sea monster might be behind it. And as crazy as it sounded, this wasn't the first mysterious attack off Australia's coast. In fact, scientists had been hunting for a massive, unknown predator in these waters since 2003.
Absolutely decimated from the head down. There's so much mystery surrounding this because looking at this picture of this mako, this thing looks humongous.
Mystery in the lake. Here's a wild moment for you guys. A man was out on his boat, enjoying a peaceful day on a calm lake. As he looked into the distance, he spotted a fish swimming along the water's surface. But then, there were enormous splashes erupting all around it, as if some massive creature was attacking it from below. The water thrashed wildly, and the splashes were so powerful they nearly rocked his boat. And then, just as quickly as it had started, everything fell quiet again. The fish was gone, and the lake returned to its stillness. What do you think happened? Was it just a big fish? I don't think so. Strange crocodile-like creature. Moving forward to the next video, we have a mysterious encounter. Beside a quiet river, locals recently spotted a strange creature lurking just below the surface. At first glance, it looked a lot like a crocodile, with a broad snout and sharp teeth that gleamed as it held its mouth wide open, almost like it was waiting to pounce on any nearby prey. However, there was something different about its appearance that caught their attention. It was a unique kind of crocodile that wasn't often seen in this area. People couldn't help but wonder what this creature really was. No one knows about its true origins yet. 2 Loch Ness monsters. Alright, here's something wild. So, a couple of divers were taking a swim when they realized they're not alone. No, they were surrounded by what looked like a family of ancient sea monsters. It's like they had stepped back in time to the dinosaur age. But nope. This was happening in 2023. These creatures looked a lot like plesiosaurs, those sharp-toothed marine reptiles. And while they seemed calm, he didn't let that fool him, cause those jaws looked like they could tear right through you. Some people say it was just computer graphics, but others were convinced this was proof of the Loch Ness monster's existence. So, what do you think? Was this the real deal, or just some special software effects? The enigma of the giant shark. Moving on to something incredible. Here we see Japanese scientists exploring Suruga Bay near the trench. They dropped a container with special bait about a mile deep to see what sea creatures would come to eat it. At first, the camera caught some small creatures and a few rare deep-sea sharks, each around 6 feet long. But then, the real excitement began. A massive creature swam into view, measuring between 30 to 50 feet long. The Guinness World Record for the largest shark was 37 feet, so if the scientists were right, this could be the biggest shark ever spotted. Some think it might be the long-extinct Megalodon, a giant sea monster from over 2 million years ago. What do you think? A dive into the deep. While scuba diving in the ocean, a diver spotted a magna pina, a really unique creature known for its long arms and strange shape, gliding through the water. Suddenly, something massive caught his eye. A huge fish was swimming towards him, and it was at least 3 times the size of the magna pina. Can you imagine that? The giant fish swam right alongside the magna pina, creating an amazing scene in the depths of the ocean. What a wild encounter! It's settled. You never know what you might find beneath the waves. Mysterious being leaps out. There was this guy exploring a river up in the mountains of China, just checking things out, you know. But then, he noticed something moving under the leaves right next to him. Naturally, he got curious, so he grabbed a stick and poked around a bit to see what might be hiding there. And then, bam! Out of nowhere, this strange creature leaped up, mouth open, ready to bite. The guy jumped back just in time, totally caught off guard. He barely even got a good look at it before it disappeared back under the leaves. Nobody knew exactly what it was. But wow, talk about a close call, right? Strange dolphin. Two friends were sailing in the ocean when they suddenly spotted something strange in the water. It was standing still, and its shape looked really unusual. As they got closer, they were shocked to see it had a face that resembled a dolphin. But that was just the beginning. It had two long arms and a long tail, flowing behind it like a ribbon in the water. And those eyes, they were completely black, giving it an eerie look. Both of them were left wondering what this incredible creature could be. Unfortunately, that still remains a mystery. Mysterious lake encounter. Some Indonesian content creators were heading to a lake to shoot some videos and relax overnight. However, later that night, while they were all settling in, one of them heard a strange noise coming from the water. He took a peek and saw nothing but thick fog and darkness all around. Feeling nervous, he shined his flashlight, and suddenly, he spotted a face peeking out from the water. It was definitely not human. It looked mysterious and otherworldly. But before he could take a good look and figure it out, the creature disappeared, leaving him shaken and wide-eyed. The Megalodon sighting. Deep in the ocean, a Megalodon was seen on the surface. This giant shark, a relative of today's sharks, brought back ancient fears of the ocean. With jaws powerful enough to crush steel, this predator was truly something to behold. Scientists had looked closely at Megalodon teeth and believed these sharks could grow up to 60 feet, which is about 18 meters long. They based this estimate on the teeth of modern great white sharks, which are related to the Megalodon. While great whites are impressive, the Megalodon would have been even bigger and more fearsome. Imagine a shark that had a shape like a great white, but was much larger and stronger. This incredible creature was the king of the oceans, millions of years ago. The mysterious swimmer. Rico and her friends were having a great time when they came out of a narrow water tunnel. Suddenly, something bright caught their eye next to their boat. In no time, a strange shape appeared underwater, looking like a person with black hair swimming alongside them. One of the girls was holding the camera and managed to snap a shot of the creature, but just as it got close to the boat, she turned away. This being didn't look like any fish or typical water animal like an otter or beaver. Some people online even suggested it looked like a mermaid, while others wondered if it could be a spirit. What do you think it was? A mermaid or a ghost? Whatever it was definitely a puzzling encounter. Foggy fishing adventure. Now here's something really interesting. While fishing along the gorgeous wild Big Sur coast, a man suddenly found himself surrounded by thick fog. He couldn't see the shore or anything else nearby. As he paddled about half a mile from the shore, he noticed something strange out of the corner of his eye. At first, he wasn't sure what it was, but when he later looked at the footage, he was shocked. He saw a large creature moving in the water right behind him as a wave passed by. He had no idea how close the creature had been while he was filming. What do you think it could have been? The Stronsa mystery.
It was big, it was smelly. This was nothing like anything they'd seen before.
While fishing near Stronsa, a boat crew spotted something odd on the rocks. Screeching gulls were flying around a large, dead animal washed up on the shore. Local fisherman John Peace went to check it out. They were used to seeing dead whales or sharks, but this was different. What they found was incredible. The creature had a small head about a foot long, but its body was an astonishing 55 feet. It had a long neck made of vertebrae, 3 pairs of legs, and was covered in thick, matted fur with a mane running down its back. News of the Stronsa Beast spread quickly. This find was more than just a story. It was real proof of something truly unusual.
Head only about a foot long, and then a body which extended 55 feet.
Hybrid sea creature. Here's something really strange. Fishermen out at sea spotted a bizarre creature swimming right next to their boat. It had the sleek body of a dolphin, but a head that looked just like a crocodile's. It was kind of creepy, like a mix between an alligator and a dolphin. Some people wondered if this odd creature was a mutant caused by environmental pollution affecting the waters. Others thought it might actually belong to the family of beaked whales, which are known for their unique shapes and features. Whatever it was, it definitely left the fishermen curious and amazed. What do you think this strange creature could be? The ghostly giant. In the deep blue ocean, a giant white manta ray glided smoothly through the water. With its huge wingspan of nearly 23 feet, this beautiful creature moved gracefully, its bright white color shining against the turquoise sea. The way the light played on its smooth body made it look almost like a ghost. For many people, seeing a manta ray like this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Around the world, there were legends about giant rays like these. In Polynesian culture, they were seen as protectors of the sea, believed to be spirits watching over sailors. The giant white manta ray was truly one of the ocean's most amazing sights. Loch Ness catfish. Now here's an exciting fishing story. While fishing by the river, a man cast his line and suddenly felt a powerful pull. As he reeled it in, he caught sight of an enormous fish thrashing at the end of his hook. It looked like a Loch Ness catfish, with dark, scaly skin and a huge, shadowy form. The fisherman struggled to hold on as the creature fought back fiercely, splashing water everywhere. He used all his strength to bring it closer, but this catfish was unbelievably strong. As with one massive thrash, it broke free and vanished back into the depths. What a thrilling catch that could have been. Strange sounds and splashes. Hearing reports of loud splashes and strange noises around Loch Moray, the museum team decided to check it out from above. They used aerial footage to capture it all and ended up recording something unusual moving just under the lake's surface. The video suggests that something big might be lurking in the water. Locals were even wondering if this could be Chesse, the legendary sea creature from the Chesapeake Bay. Chesse has been part of local folklore for years, with stories of a huge, serpent-like figure spotted in the water. Could this footage be proof of the legend? Prehistoric predator Dunkleosteus.
Is crunching through that juvenile, crunching through the plate.
This footage captured by a deep-sea diver shows a majestic creature. He was so fascinated by the world around him. Suddenly, he saw a rare sight, a small, ancient fish known as Dunkleosteus, inspecting bits of debris on the seafloor. It looked so interesting. These amazing armored creatures once flourished 50 million years ago, but they have long been extinct. And now, there it was, a massive Dunkleosteus lunging from the shadows as it devoured the smaller fish in a single, bone-crunching bite. The diver was stunned, realizing he had just witnessed true cannibalistic behavior, an ancient predator feeding on its own kind.
Believe it or not, this is normal behavior. The Dunkleosteus isn't being sick.
Translucent being. A YouTuber had recently uploaded a mesmerizing video to his YouTube channel, capturing an unforgettable dive in the Philippines. On his second day of scuba diving, he encountered an otherworldly creature. It was a mysterious, jellyfish-like mass. As it pulsed, its colors shifted in ways that seemed almost unreal. Now, this obviously made me wonder whether it had been digitally altered or not, but Ryan insisted the creature truly glowed with some kind of ethereal light. His video captured the being from multiple angles, one as it floated near the surface, and another from a lower perspective. Kayaker surprised. In this next video, a lone kayaker found himself suddenly surrounded by strange, shadowy creatures slipping through the muddy waters toward him. All of a sudden, one daring creature edged a little too close, which forced him to strike out with his paddle, and seconds later he realized he was surrounded. As he caught his breath, the man's curiosity led him to research these mysterious, elusive beings. What even were these things? He discovered they were likely manatees, known to swim in large groups. And when startled, these gentle giants sometimes shoot bursts of water into the air as a defense mechanism. Quite fascinating, right? Mermaid sighting. Prepare to see something absolutely mind-blowing. So, deep within the ocean's abyss, a lone diver was drifting along with a camera in hand, capturing all the mysteries of the sea. Suddenly, out of the darkness, he spotted a figure unlike anything he's ever seen. A mermaid. Her form was both haunting and mesmerizing, and for just a moment, her eyes met him before she vanished, swimming gracefully upward. The diver can barely breathe, his mind racing with thoughts of ancient legends and tales of sirens from the deep. When he reviewed his footage later, he realized he might have captured proof of these mysterious beings that have haunted sailors' dreams for centuries. Could this be real? You tell us. A dive with Loch Ness. Divers were deep underwater when suddenly they encountered something massive right in front of the camera. It was a huge creature with a vertical tail fin. It moved right past them, stirring up a huge cloud of sand and debris. For a moment, everything was just murky chaos, but by the time the sand had settled, the creature had disappeared into the dark. Tom and Ken wanted to keep investigating, but they're over 150 feet down, and their oxygen was running low. So, they had no choice but to head back to the surface. Later, Tom sent up a marker buoy to let their team know where they spotted it, and they started their slow, careful ascent. The story of the Yakumama. Recently in Brazil, people have spotted a Yakumama near the forest. This giant snake was part of Amazonian folklore, and local tribes had some incredible stories about it. They called it the Yakumama, which means Mother of Waters. Legend has it that the Yakumama lives deep in the Amazon River and its smaller streams. Some stories say this creature can grow over 100 feet long, with others claiming it could reach 160 feet. Its wide body was so massive that it looked like a small hill when it rested on the riverbanks. People describe the Yakumama as having a huge head, glowing eyes, and a mouth big enough to swallow boats and even humans. Encounter with the bloop. Two scuba divers, Sarah and Mike, were exploring the deep blue waters of the ocean when they suddenly heard a strange sound echoing around them. It was a deep, rumbling noise that seemed to come from far away. And then suddenly, something huge and shadowy moved in the distance. Could it be the legendary bloop, the mysterious creature rumored to live in the ocean's depths? As it swam closer, they realized they were in the presence of this gigantic fish, bigger than anything they had ever seen. They could see its wide, round mouth and big eyes. What an incredible moment to witness, right? Tentacle being. Something truly fascinating was spotted at a Florida aquarium. Visitors couldn't believe their eyes when they saw this massive sea creature with countless tentacles, looking just like a giant octopus. It was big and powerful, with its long, smooth tentacles moving gracefully through the water, almost like it was performing for the crowd. People started wondering if this could be a new type of octopus, or maybe even a rare species scientists haven't fully explored yet. Its size alone was amazing, don't you think? Strange splashes in the lake. On a sunny afternoon, people by the lake heard loud splashes echoing across the water. This made them curious, so they looked up and saw a huge creature thrashing around, sending big waves toward the shore. It had fins, or maybe arms, splashing wildly like it was fighting something just under the surface. The internet went wild with theories. Could it be a legendary lake monster? Or maybe a giant fish caught in a struggle? What do you think? The octopus's escape. Something really cool happened here. A fisherman caught a large, squirming octopus and brought it onto his boat. This lively creature was full of energy, moving its arms around and checking out every corner of the deck. Before long, it spotted a small drain hole that led back to the ocean. So, what did it do? The octopus began to press its body against the tiny hole, stretching and squeezing to fit through. Slowly, it slipped one arm after another through the gap, and within moments, the octopus pushed itself completely through and disappeared back into the water. Sneaky, right? Scared mermaid. Now this is a strange video. A person was out in the Pacific on his kayak. It was supposed to be a peaceful moment when all of a sudden he felt ripples in the water. Now ripples are not that uncommon, but these ones turned into giant splashes real quick. Just look how huge they were. Something strange was in the water and it swam fast by the kayak. Redditors believe it was a mermaid that was scared and possibly running from something. What do you think? And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. Here we see something mind-blowing. A scuba diver entered the ocean in a protective cage, ready for an adventure. Suddenly, out of the dark depths, a Dunkleosteus, an ancient creature from millions of years ago, slowly swam toward him. Its massive armored body glided through the water, and it seemed curious about the man in the cage. The diver watched in awe as this prehistoric giant came closer, its powerful jaws lined with sharp, bony plates instead of teeth. But then, just as quickly as it had appeared, the Dunkleosteus turned and vanished into the dark waters.